Hey guys, and welcome to the final Wolves International fan reaction, and it's a proper good one, and you can understand why. These are the reactions from Wolves fans around the globe to Manchester City game and that Liverpool game and VAR. Some really good, very concise, very constructive, and very, very strong opinions on this one. So, without any further ado, let's go around the world.
Hello Desmond Dave, it's David here to give you my international fans reaction for the Manchester City and Liverpool game. As you can see from the location, I'm not in Gothenburg this week, I'm actually in Palam Beach here in Goa in India. So I'll just give you a little show of my background behind me, as you can see. Alright, I'll give you a spin. So yeah, let's start with the Manchester City game. Wolves coming out 3-2 winners. What a match. A match that had everything really, starting with the early red card. Jota going through on goal after a great ball through from Cody, being clattered by Edison, rightly given a red card. And then Wolves were given the emphasis then to go and attack Manchester City, but unfortunately we fell behind, with Sterling slotting home a penalty taken twice after encroachment by Cody on the first one. Patricio doing really well to save both of the penalties, but unfortunately he fell to Sterling on the second occasion and he stroked home. And after half time we went 2-0 down. De Bruyne slipping through Sterling, in he goes and expertly chipped it over Patricio, and then you thought the game was done. Manchester City were just going to see the game out, but this is Wolves we're talking about, and we get back into the game with Adama Traore scoring a great goal, smashing it into the bottom corner like he did at the previous home game against Tottenham. Then it was game on really. Traore bundling Mendy off the ball, squaring across, and Raul scoring to make it 2-2. And then Matt Doherty in the last minute pops up, left foot, bottom corner, sent Molyneux into raptures. What a performance from the boys to go into it. And then yeah, going into last night's game, it kicked off 10 PM local time here. So yeah, it was a bit of a kick in the teeth with Wolves losing 1-0. We'll start with the Liverpool goal. Van Dijk, contentious handball, the VAR didn't look at that, but then Lallana controlled it. I thought it was handball on first look, but rightfully the VAR did get that one right with it hitting his shoulder, Mane finishing. And then to the big decision with the Wolves goal being rolled out from Pedro Neto. I think Johnny's toe was adjudged to be offside in the build-up to the goal, and I guess that the decision was right, but it's just the atmosphere and the life being sucked out of the game by these decisions and how long it's been taken. The old VR remit was that it's clear and obvious, and if it's going into these pixels and taking that much time to decide if a goal is offside or not, then it's just killing the life out of the game. And the Liverpool fans are cheering the disallowed goal more than the actual goal that they scored themselves. Going into the second half, we saw Traore and Raul being brought on, but Wolves going to find the goal. We huffed and we puffed and we tried, but we couldn't find the goal, and to lose 1-0 wasn't such a bad result. We held our own against Liverpool, the champions-elect, and we could be proud of the performance from the boys. And yeah, I'll be here for the Watford and the Manchester United game, so I'll try and give you my reaction from that. Anyway, enough of me talking, I'm going to go and jump into the water behind me here. Till next time, over and out.
Dave, Wolfman Jeff coming at you right here in Alabama. What a past couple of days. I'll start happy. I'll go back in time. Here we go. A couple days ago. Wow. Manchester City, I couldn't watch it live. Had to watch it afterwards. I did keep up with the score, though, so I knew what was going to happen before it happened. But wow. I thought for sure we were going to not pull it together against Man City, even though we had all these advantages with them going down to 10 men, especially with their keeper going out, and then Aguero going out. Then they got that goal. Then they got the second goal. But the fighting spirit of Wolves, this was one of our finest hour, maybe the best we've had for this season so far, topping even our other win against Manchester City, because we came back from a 0-2 to pull out a 3-2 win against Manchester City. I mean, anytime you get a 3-2 against Manchester City is fantastic. But when you're coming back from 0-2, wow. So we showed great character And so I was looking forward to today's match at Anfield. Of course, we've been paying attention to Liverpool, and we know their quality, and they are riding high. They just had a wonderful win against Tottenham, so they were feeling really strong. I do have to admit, Dave, when I first saw the starting lineup, I was a little bit concerned because two of our most effective players, Jimenez and Traore, were not listed as starters. Also, Saiss and Matt Doherty were sitting on the bench. So I was like, okay, Nuno, what's going on? And I don't think that Nuno would rest these players insofar as thinking that he's just going to take a loss, because that's not in his character. What I figured he was going to do, and I think that's what he did do, was decide he was going to play back and focus on defense and steal a goal if they can, and therefore in the second half come alive by bringing in Jimenez and Traore, which he did, and they certainly were very effective. But this year has been very frustrating. From our first almost goal of the year to our last almost goal of this year by VAR. And I haven't complained too much about VAR. It probably would be more painful. It's painful watching at home, but I can't imagine in the stands just how rough that is. I'm okay with the handball, at least the one I saw, because we could see it on TV. But the offsides that counted off Neto's goal was just ridiculous. And so it was a bit gut-wrenching. But I pull back, Dave, and I look at this year and go, wow, Wolves have come so far. We are pushing. We just knocked out the the Premier League champions. We did a double, and now we're facing the next Premier League champions and the world champions, and we almost got a point off of them. So well done. Excited actually to see the performance by Neto. Kilman did pretty good as well, and of course Vinagre showed his quality. So good to see. Yeah, there's some things I think we could have done a little bit different, but overall I'm really pleased with the Wolves' play today. So hey, Dave, Happy New Year's to you and your family, and we're gonna see what we can do on New Year's Day. On New Year's Day, come on, you Wolves! Always Wolves.
Hi Dave, it's Keith from Melbourne here, reporting on the two games over the very short Christmas break, extremely short Christmas break. I've decided after a lot of thinking and complaining and bitching and moaning, I'm not going to actually comment on the VAR decisions for the two games except for right now. I've decided I'm going to talk about my beloved Wolves. I've been following this team for 45 years from halfway around the world. For the first 30 years with virtually no information other than a 3-month-old newspaper or something. Occasional short or 20-minute video replay that was shown on our TV late at night, which I often fell asleep for or whatever. But these two games made me so proud to be a Wolves supporter. To come back from 2-0 against the double champions like we did, even though it was at home, but so what, was just phenomenal. I sat there and screamed my head off early in the morning, ended up waking the whole family on each goal in that second half. To watch the superb play of Adama, of Raul, of Jota, of Mourinho, of all of the guys just playing so well. Against very, very good world-class opposition. It just made me so proud to be a Wolves supporter. And that's the theme of this particular report. I'm so proud to be a Wolves supporter. To go to Liverpool and take 4 of those players out in less than 48 hours, including Raul and Adama at 2 best over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And put it to Liverpool. You know, oh, Liverpool didn't play properly. Liverpool didn't do this. Liverpool didn't do that. Yeah, because they were playing Wolves, you clowns. Anyway, you know, to lose a goal, I'm not even worried that it cost us possibly a point, but to lose a goal like that, like we did 5 minutes after going behind in that hellhole of a place at Anfield, hellhole to away supporters, hellhole to away teams, and then by a bee's dick get it taken away. Where the hell was this? I'm not going to mention any VAR, as I said. So I'm extremely proud. I love the way the boys have tackled it. I love the way the coaching staff have tackled it. Thank you, supporters, for making these last 2 games so enjoyable watching from the other side of the world. So to all international Wolves supporters, Happy New Year coming up. Hopefully we can go to Watford and at least get a good win to mark this terrific festive season and New Year season. As always Wolves. Bye.
This is Andy here from Verbio in Switzerland. Quick reaction here from the Swiss Alps. I came into Wolverhampton on Friday to watch the Man City game, and Wolves thoroughly deserved to win that. They were very unlucky at half-time to go into the break 2-0 down, and they came out firing in the second half. First goal from Adama, fantastic. Second goal, assist from Adama, goal by Jimenez, great. And Doherty's finish for the third was superb. What an evening, electric atmosphere, and I was privileged to be there. It's probably one of the best matches I've ever been to in my life. Moving on, yesterday had my family with me in Verbio. We watched the match start to finish. Well, what can I say? Very unlucky, totally unfair. And even those who I know who don't support either team, don't even watch football normally, when they saw that and looked at it, the first goal to scored for Liverpool, that was totally out of order. VAR was looking at the wrong incident, should have been looking at Van Dijk. How you can handball it down and kick forwards for a goal, God only knows. That should not have been allowed. The second goal, which was disallowed, scored by Wolves, equally unfair. It is totally ludicrous that a millimetre or two of foot or whatever it is should constitute offside. It was not a clear and obvious mistake. And in fact, when you saw the line, there was no way to see at what point the ball was kicked at that stage. So once again, top six team favoured by VAR, and the VAR goes against Wolves. So I thought Wolves played a stunning match yesterday. All of us here did, and deserved to get more out of it. And well, putting all the negatives to one side, we move on. Watford next, then Man United, and hopefully we'll come out with a more justified result at the end of this. They've been playing well for a few games now, no reason for that to end. And on that note, I wish everybody a great week, good seasonal greetings from Switzerland, and a happy New Year when it comes.
Hey Dave, it's Zach. In LA this time. Been up in LA for the holidays instead of my apartment in San Diego. But yeah, if you would have told me we were going to come away with 3 points after 2 quick matches against the champions and the likely champions, I would have taken it. So obviously the match against City was a wild ride, I think, front to back, really. After coming back after a 2-0 deficit, I think that showed a lot of character, showed a lot of the players had a lot of faith in Nuno, and obviously a great performance by Adama to get the goal and the assist, and just really caused a lot of problems for them. Obviously, the red card against Ederson really changed the face of the game, but you take what you can get against a team like City, and on to Liverpool. It's unfortunate that we didn't walk away with a draw. I think that would have been fair, especially after getting a goal disallowed for millimeters offside, which is insane that it's come to that. I think sometimes it's like, I guess if you want to go super technical, maybe he was a millimeter offside, but I think it kind of takes away from the whole spirit of the game. I don't know what the solution is there, but I think they fought hard against a really, really strong Liverpool team. And yeah, I can't find too much to complain about there, especially since we didn't have Adama and Raul starting. Pedro Neto had a fantastic game. It was nice to have Bennett back. And yeah, I think this is hopefully with some good momentum coming into the new year. So, always Wolves.
Hello Dave, fellow Wolves fans. It's Brian from Hat Chau Samran in Thailand. Couple of match reviews. Firstly, the victory against Manchester City, winning 3-2. It was a fabulous game. Second half was What a comeback. 2-0 down, come back winning 3-2. Who would have thought it, eh? Man of the match in that game was Adama Traore. We was just brilliant. I'll fast forward. The game's just finished. Liverpool 1, Wolves 0. The first half, I didn't think we was in it, and their goal was, yeah, okay, they had a look. I think the problem with the Wolves fans was they said that on the halfway line the ball came up and hit Van Dijk on the arm, which that's what they was disputing with regards to the subsequent goal. We got back into the game, as everybody knows, and it's that dreaded word again, VAR. The sooner that they get it sorted, although they won't get it sorted out this season, it'll be next season. But get rid of it. Go back to the linesman putting a flag up, and you knew what was going to happen. You're not sitting there for 3 minutes waiting for a decision. I felt flat afterwards. But second half, come out again. We were the better side. We matched Liverpool. That was probably Liverpool's hardest match of the season, I would have thought. Man of the match, well, there was two. There was Ruben Vinagre or Magic Moss's mate, Ryan Bennett. So toss up between them two. Disappointed with the result because I thought we could have got something out of it, but let's move on now. Not VAR again. Take care, guys. Look after yourself.
Hey Dave, it's Dave from New York Wolves here in the lovely Novotel in Wolverhampton. One of my favourite spots in the world because Molineux is a mere 10-minute walk away, and the Great Western is about 3 minutes that way. Doesn't get much better than that. Getting you some reaction from one of the more insane weekends of a Wolves fan's life. Friday was just epic. What a comeback. What incredible spirit and determination from the team. And I said to my wife after Friday's match, I said, I don't fear any team at all now. Because, yeah, Man City I think they've got a few injuries and they had some defensive errors, but they're still a phenomenal team. And you saw it in patches, how well they play football. And they got a 2-goal head start, thanks in part to VAR. I'll come back to that. But we said, you know what, no, we're still going to win. And we came back. And we, I think, deservedly won 3-2, which was absolutely amazing. I think my favourite Wolves game ever. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that. I was in Cardiff. I flew up to Newcastle on New Year's Day 1990, but I think Friday is probably the best game that I have ever been to. So phenomenal to experience that attitude. Molineux was rocket. Oh my God, it was fantastic. And superb performance by the team. I thought today was the same. I thought we played excellent. But once again, we got the short end of VAR. I think in one way, their goal should have stood because Lallana didn't handball it. It was his shoulder, clearly. But Van Dijk handled it in the build-up. So when do you stop? When do you stop reviewing? And then the offside is just ridiculous. Something has to be done by the FA or whoever to fix that. I still don't quite understand how Johnny, what part of his anatomy was offside. It's just ridiculous. That is not football. That is not what football's about. And the thing that really struck me from Friday, football matches are always going to have decisions that go wrong or that are given incorrectly, right? And VAR hasn't actually changed that. So there's always going to be things that people disagree about. But Friday was the first match in a stadium that I saw live with VAR, and it really struck me how toxic the atmosphere became. There were a lot of really angry people there because they're there to passionately support their team, and all they see is basically Raheem Sterling being given, oh, you missed it, oh, why don't you have another try, oh, why don't you have another try? And that's got to change. They've got to show the replays in the stadium, because then I think people will at least people then see what's going on. Whether it was a penalty, yeah, okay, Dendoncker trod on his foot, very soft, but you know, at least then people will see it. So that was my thought there. But anyway, super emotional roller coaster for the weekend. 3 fantastic points on Friday. I think a close 1-0 defeat today. A lot of Liverpool fans who I'm friends with said we deserved a draw. So I think a come from behind 3-2 win against the champions and a undeserved 1-0 loss at the next champions, that's a pretty good weekend's work. So I'll take that. And we're on to Watford New Year's Day. So it was great to meet you and the family on Friday, by the way. My hand is getting really cold holding the phone here. So I'm going to go, and I will talk to you in 2020.
Hello, Dave. I've just watched the Liverpool game. Disappointing game, but Wolves played very well for the most part. And that VAR gig we just jinxed with that VAR, and it just ain't satisfactory, you know. I mean, it takes an age before they get a result, and we've been cheering for Neto for his first Premier League goal, and they go and deny it. It's just not right. There's something wrong with the system that needs to be looked at. But I feel, well, we played so well, they just couldn't break us down, and I'm very proud of Wolves this evening. And I just felt that it was a draw to me. I mean, if a finger is over to make it a offside, I mean, come on, man, it's just crazy. But it's an enjoyable game, but the Man City game was the game in this last few days that's proved to be Wolves' salvation for being in the top 6. Let's hope that this is the only loss we get, apart from the other loss, and we go on to finish well. I feel we're playing well enough to be in the top 4, quite honestly. The shooting at the end of the Liverpool game could have been a lot better, I'm afraid. I feel that Liverpool and Wolves, there's no difference. We're just as good as Liverpool, man. And what can I say? It's just a bad luck game for Wolves, I feel, because at the very least we should have had a draw. The Man City game was just phenomenal. The way we came back and the way we played Man City, we definitely deserved the win. And as you said in an article, that it was sweet justice that we got the third goal in the last minute. Just feel Wolves, we're back. There's no stopping us now. We could be up there in the top 4 before the end of the season, easy. I just feel we are a top team again, and it's wonderful to see. But anyway, over and out from Fort Myers, Dave. A very happy New Year to everybody, and Wolves, on and up we go.
This is Targa and Chris from Eidsvoll in Norway. Yeah, I know, Dave, the idea was to talk about both the Man City and Liverpool games, but the Liverpool game is just finished. It's very difficult to not discuss what's just happened, and I firmly believe, and honestly, that game should be replayed because the technology wasn't used correctly, regardless of whether it can be used for centimetres, millimetres, an offside position or a handball. Van Dijk clearly handled the ball in the build-up to the Liverpool goal. VAR is there to fix the clear and obvious errors. He didn't look at it. Yet again, it's gone in Liverpool's favour. And the fact that the rules weren't used correctly and he didn't look at it, the rules were not applied correctly. Neither was the technology. The game should be replayed. Targa.
I do agree. I agree so much. We should have won it anyways. We had all the ball in the second half, all those chances.
We did waste some chances. We have to say, a brilliant performance, even given the circumstances. I'll say it again: the game should be replayed. Now, Friday night's game was great. I mean, what can you say? Superb. But again, it's so hard to talk about it with the emotion of what we've just witnessed, isn't it?
Yes, it really is.
But what these last two games have proved against this level of opposition is where Wolves are now. Certainly a top 4 place isn't beyond us this season. I'm so proud of the team, I really am. Tiger, finish it off.
Oh, I can't believe we actually won 3-2 away at Manchester City.
We were home, weren't we?
They were winning 2-0.
Yeah, we were 2 down. I should like to talk more about Man City because it was great. One of my favourite ever Wolves game. But I'm still steaming about what I've just witnessed. And I think most of the football world will be behind us and agree with us, quite honestly. I ain't going to say the score. I normally, at the end of a review, I confirm what the score was. But I'm not going to do it on this occasion. I'm going to say Wolves 3, Man City 2. And I will say the Liverpool-Wolves game is null and void because it should be replayed.
So thanks to everyone for their contributions. Do you agree, disagree with their thoughts on this particular one? And if you want to get involved for your country, of course, or your area, just let me know and we'll see what we can do to organise it. And on behalf of everyone around the world, have a happy new year.